Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have this 2012 Chevy Impala with a 3.6 liter engine. This Impala has about 186,000 miles on it now. A cool thing about this car is that it actually used to be mine. Now it is owned by my father and he drives this thing a lot. When I owned this car I was pretty good with keeping up on maintenance and such, but there were a couple times that I can remember where driving back and forth to college every day, sometimes I let the oil changes get up there, probably 10,000, give or take some. The scary problem with that is that I didn't use very good oil. I used Supertech because trying to save money, going to college, that kind of stuff. The good news is after getting through college and worrying more about maintenance on cars, I treated this to a little bit of AMSOIL here and there, some Pennzoil, that kind of better stuff rather than just Supertech. Now, knowing the history with this car, I figured it was a good vehicle to test this Restore and Protect out in, for various reasons. Some people may have different ideas or suggestions on why this happened, so if you do have an idea, feel free to let me know in the comments. But when I owned this car, almost pretty much every winter, and even sometimes not necessarily in winter, I would build up a lot of moisture underneath this oil fill cap. And let's just take a look at it now and see if there's any under it. Not a whole lot. There's definitely a little bit of moisture, but it's not too bad. A little bit of that like kind of milky look to it where there's obviously some moisture, but not too bad at all in my opinion. When I owned it, there would be so much of that like milky stuff on the top every time that I would drive it. I don't know if the PCV valve was clogged or I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. It could have just been my driving style. I didn't do long drives all of the time, but it's tough for me to say. Speaking of this oil fill cap, I want to show you guys something. When I had this car, it built up a decent amount of varnish on the top little deflector plate on the valve cover here. It seems like this oil has been kind of cleaning that up, so we're going to start to document this and see if it changes and gets more clean progressively the more intervals that we do of Restore and Protect. So I'll show you guys what it looks like right now. Now, hopefully you guys can see in there, there is obviously some gunk around the outside of that plate, but if you can see, the inside looks pretty clean. I'm going to get a better picture of that. That way we can have a good side-by-side comparison. Now, before I go over any other details on this car, I'm just going to show you guys what the oil looks like on the dipstick right now. You guys can take a look at that. It's not crazy dirty, not super amazingly clean, but I've noticed with this Restore and Protect, and maybe it's just me with Restore and Protect, but it always seems like there's a heavy concentration of darker spots. I don't know if that's typical for every oil, but it's just something that I've noticed the more that I'm doing these videos. It could just be me, I don't know. So just a little bit more of a backstory on this car. It has about 186,000 miles on it right now, and an unknown amount of miles on the current interval of Restore and Protect. I am estimating that it's about 7,500 miles on this oil change interval. Unfortunately, I don't write down the mileage on the oil filters, and I reset the second trip mileage on this car, but that accidentally got deleted. So we're guessing about 7,500 miles on this oil change interval. Now, normally I use the Purelator 1 oil filters because I like how they filter down a lot more than a lot of filters, and they're easy for me to take apart and look, and they show up good on camera also. But I had to pick up this Purelator 20K filter from Walmart because I was in a hurry to get this one done. Also, the oil filter that is on this car right now looks to be a Wix, might be a Wix XP, so that's just what we had at the time. But hopefully moving forward, I'm going to try and get a stock of the Purolator 1 oil filters just so it's as consistent as possible, especially in case we're going to be doing any sort of oil samples and analysis, that kind of stuff. I'm also going to be doing what I always do, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the used oil in this drain pan here that I tried to clean up a bit. And we're going to cut open the oil filter and take a look at the inside of it. I'm going to go take out the drain plug and grab a small sample of that oil. You guys can just hang out here for a minute. Now, while the oil is draining out, I'm going to go ahead and take off the oil filter. Now, it's been a while since I've owned this car, so I forgot that you have to make sure that your drain pan is positioned in a way that it captures the oil that comes out of the oil filter because it's sitting sideways, as well as the oil pan. Otherwise, you get a mess on your feet because now all of the oil that was in the oil filter was splashing and made a nice mess by where my feet are. Let's continue with getting the oil filter off. Now this is a Wix oil filter, so we're going to save all the oil that's in it right now, and we'll go ahead and drain that in a second. Now this is a Wix oil filter, and like normal, there's a little bit of oil left inside of the oil filter. I'm not thinking that we're going to see anything crazy here because the oil that should come out is oil that has already been filtered, but I'll show you guys what it looks like anyway. It's definitely pretty dark. I'm pretty excited to cut this filter open and see what's inside though. But first, I want to show you guys what the oil looks like that I got in this bottle here that I got when the oil was draining out. Looks pretty similar to the oil that was in the filter, but just another visual for you guys. And if you guys wanted to see what it looks like on a piece of paper towel. Definitely pretty dark. Now, like always, we are going to pre-fill the oil filter. Although this car has a odd oil filter housing where it sits like this, we're still at least going to get as much oil in the pleats as we can. That way it's as full as it can be before it starts up. And like always, make sure that with a clean hand, you put some oil on the top of the O-ring on the new oil filter just so that it comes off easy the next time. Now, I may have made a small mistake because there's still some oil in the bottom of this oil filter, and I'm pretty sure that I got all of the pleats well saturated. That's kind of unfortunate because Restore and Protect is not the cheapest oil out there. However, I have found that at both Amazon and Walmart, it is still $30 for 5 quarts, which is the cheapest that you can find it anywhere. If you'd like to support the channel and you use Restore and Protect, anytime that you make a purchase with the link that I put in the description for Restore and Protect, it helps the channel, makes it a lot easier for me to buy all this oil and all these oil filters for everybody's cars. That way I can keep doing these videos. So I appreciate any of the support that you guys have, and thank you guys for watching. Let's get back to this. Now I'm going to try and put this oil filter on without spilling too much. All right, now that I have the new oil filter on, I'm going to go throw the drain plug back in. Now, I'm going to put 6 quarts of oil in here before I forget to, because that would be bad. Do any of you guys do this, or am I just a little bit crazy? Because I like to make sure that I'm getting as much of the oil out of the jug as I can, so I will always try to balance this jug upside down in the funnel. Let me know if you do that. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get any before pictures of this dipstick, and honestly, I don't know if it was dirty before or not. But just to show you guys what it looks like now, it is pretty clean right now. So I don't know if it was dirty before or not, but this is what we're working with right now. Now that we're full on oil, I think it's about time that we take this oil filter apart. Well, that was kind of violent. Alright, so let's take a look inside of here. We'll set this down for now. Let's just take a peek in here. See if there's anything that we can see, anything obvious. Honestly, I'm not seeing anything too crazy. It seems like you can see a couple of specks that are moving around, like nothing crazy though. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. Really nothing in there. Just a couple pieces, but nothing crazy. Let's take a peek at this filter and see if we can't see anything in the pleats. Not a whole lot going on in these pleats either. I think it's time to see if I can't get these pleats separated and actually get them out of this filter. Okay guys, I was able to get some of the pleats here. Unfortunately I broke some of them and I'll try and get them too, but I figured I'll show you guys what I have so far. And at this point, nothing crazy. Looks like a pretty typical oil filter, I would think. I would say maybe a little heavy on some of the grime and stuff, but especially when I flip it this way, so you can kind of see some of the stuff that's built up in the pleats, but even then, it's really not a whole lot. Maybe a little bit in some spots. Like I said, there's not a whole lot, but you can definitely see there's some crud, a little bit built up here and there. Definitely is doing some cleaning, I would say. Looks like there's a couple pieces there. Hopefully you guys are able to see that right there. Have you guys used different oils and had similar stuff in the filters before? Or is this only a restore and protect thing? I honestly can't say that I know for sure. Okay, so I was able to get most of the rest of the pleats out without tearing them up too badly. And kind of just like the other ones that we've seen so far, not a whole lot is going on. There's a little bit of crud here and there that you can probably see, but it's really not anything to write home about. I'm actually kind of shocked because I figured that there would be a decent amount of buildup in here just with such a long oil change interval. As I'm looking, there's a couple spots where I can see some crud, so I'm going to try and scrape that off just to show you guys that it is still capturing some crud, but definitely not as much as in some of my other videos, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, not really a whole lot. Couple little pieces here and there, but nothing too crazy. Oops. That's probably the most amount of stuff that I've seen from in the pleats so far, and that's really not even that bad. Just in case you guys wanted to see what the filter looked like afterwards, I wouldn't mind running a Wix filter. I think those are probably built pretty well too. Oh, what is that? It's just part of the filter. Never mind. So now that we looked at the inside of this filter, what do you guys think? Was this engine always clean? Is Restore and Protect a scam? Did the AMSOIL that I ran in it once clean out everything? Or is this engine just a good Chevy engine and it runs clean no matter what you put in it? Let me know what your thoughts are. Moving forward, we're going to keep using this Restore and Protect in here and run it for a full interval. If there's anything else that you guys think I should try, feel free to leave a comment and I'll see if that's something that I can do. Hey guys, I just had to add one more thing. I just took this car for a little bit of a test drive just to see. I was curious if it drove decent or sounded any different from back when I owned it. And I don't know if it was the AMSOIL of one interval that I did or the Pennzoil that I did before that, or if it was this last interval of Restore and Protect. But there used to be like a ticking kind of sound that I used to hear, and I don't hear it at all anymore. And if it was the Restore and Protect, then awesome. But I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's something else that I noticed. I'm going to keep testing Restore and Protect in a variety of different vehicles, and I'll try and make some playlists and make it so that it's easier to follow along. As always, if there's anything that you guys liked, didn't like, if you have any suggestions, comments, feel free to let me know. I appreciate all the support. If you guys want to support the channel and you like this kind of stuff, feel free to use any of those links to make any purchases on Amazon. They give me a little commission, and it helps me pay for pretty much everything that I just use making these videos. I don't make anything on it, but it makes it easier for me to not spend a lot of my own money to buy all the stuff to make these videos. So anything is appreciated, and I hope you guys have a good night.